So guys, just a little walk around my camp. We put the old basher up. We've used bungees for that. We've got the hammock chair in there. That's fantastic. I actually go to sleep in that. I'll probably find myself asleep in there and wake up 3 o'clock in the morning like I normally do. Got the Highlander Pro Force. That's the one you see me set up. It's a one-man bivvy tent. And I've got to say, so far I've been really impressed with it. And when you get inside it, guys, it's like a TARDIS. It's massive. Plenty of room in there for one person. At a real emergency squeeze, you'd probably get 2 of you in there. You'd have to be best of friends, I think, or some hot chick that you met on the trail. But yeah, you could end up getting 2 in there if you really had to. I haven't done a review on it. I haven't done a review. There's only one thing, and that's because I like to use things 3, 4, 5 times before I actually go out and do the review on it. So you can give an honest opinion on that. But so far, I've got to say it's a great bit of kit. You've got an opening at both ends. You've got an opening down there. That's the opening where I showed you. This also opens right up. And that would be your way in normally, but I actually do it backwards. I set me basher up like that, then I'll go in so I'm upright in that position there, laying, and then when I come back out, I'm back under tarp, back in my shelter a little bit. Where we've set this up, I'm going to leave it a little bit slack. I'm hoping to catch a bit of water on that in the morning, although I am surrounded by the river and the streams. So I've got plenty of water. Water's not a concern. I've got the Acromere filter bottle with me, and I've also got another bottle on top of that. Got the brew kit there, and my little baby, I calls it my little baby, the EK stove. Water's just boiling up to make a nice cup of tea, or coffee I think. There's my other water bottle down there, which is full. I filtered water out the river, put it in that one, and then I took a bottle as well, so that gives me about just short of 2 litres of water. That should last me. Didn't bring much mess with me, that's why I'm using my little stove, and that little stove's ideal for that because it just boils enough water for me to have a cup of tea. Then we've got the honey stove down there, which we'll set up in a bit, and got the Campax. I always take a Campax out, spork, and I've got plenty of food. I'm only doing one night, but I actually always plan all my kit, guys, on if I need to spend a week out here, I've got all the gear to do that. And that's the main thing, is when you plan out your little camping trip, good old camping, eh? I like to make sure I've got everything. I've even got the Laplander saw, first aid kit. That's all the maths I've got. That should be enough. Extra paracord, always take extra paracord with me. Inside here I've got the 2 sleeping bags. Megan made me Brenners. It's a red one. I've got my row mat, and then underneath that again I've got another sleeping bag, and there's my sleeping bag, row mat on top, then my main sleeping bag. Got the softy trousers, softy jacket. I've got a spare clothes here, which is long johns and all that type of business, all stuff that you may need when you're out here. But so there's a quick look around camp. A lot of people say about these guidelines in camp. Well, I actually don't normally exit out this way at all, guys. I'm actually moving back through the woods that way. So once this is in place, I don't need to actually go out there anymore. I may do, because it's easier to get to the water that way, but probably not. So right, I'm going to get me coffee and I'll get back to you. So guys, I went out, I had a look around, and I've seen quite a lot actually. I've seen a lot of wildlife. It's been great. I should have took a camera, but I'm waiting to go first light really. Best time of the day is first light to see anything. Dusk, dawn and dusk is the best time for wildlife. I would say for the guys that are going out with their digital photography cameras, probably dawn would be slightly better because the light's always improving, and you can normally see a lot more. Dusk can be a bit trickier, unless you've got the right lenses and filters and all that type of stuff. But it's been good. Yeah, I'm going to try and get up in the morning. It's very hard for me to get up when I'm out here, guys, because I sleep like a baby, and I'm sure tonight I will be. I'm expecting quite a cold night. I think it's a good chance, a bit of frost here in the morning. The woods is pretty cold now, and the easterly wind has backed off and dropped off a fair bit, which is nice, because that little bit of a breeze, easterly wind's always a lazy wind, guys. It'll go right through you instead of going around you, and that's a good one to remember. When the wind's in the east, especially in the UK, when the wind's in the east, just take extra clothing with you, because it's normally a cold old wind, that one is. Now, a lot of people's been asking me about tracking, traps and trapping and stuff like that, and I've got to say, guys, for most of the bushcrafters and people, you don't need to go trapping. There's no need for you to do that. It's a nice skill to have, and I would say to anyone, practice it, you know, practice, but I don't think you need to go to the extremes of catching live animals. There's just no need for it. You don't need it. You don't need the meat. You're not in a survival situation. If you're in a survival situation, the whole ball game changes. Then you do what you got to do. But if you're just out enjoying yourself, like I am on a trip out now, you know, if I was hunting, it's different. If I'm on a hunter wild gatherer, or I was on a big, you know, pest control hunting camp trip, it would be a totally different exercise. Yeah, I'd be running snares, or I'd put a few snares out to see what I could catch. But I'm not. I'm just here having some fun, and I really want to enjoy the wildlife, everything that I see. Tracking, a lot of people like tracking because they like to track animals. The common one is, what's the difference between a fox and a badger? And it's probably the most asked question I get, guys. I get asked it all the time. I always say, if you remember, old badger's got 5 toes. You'll see the imprint of 5 toes. Fox is normally 4. It is 4. Your badger, he's more spread out, so he's like that with a back print, and it's more spread out, so his print will look like that, with a back indent and 4 toes like that. A fox, you'll see the 3 like that, and then 1 back imprint like that. And so a badger's like the size of a little baby's hand, I suppose, in the ground, and a fox's is more like an oval type shape, and that's how you'll see him. The old deer, it depends what species you're tracking, would depend on the size. You're looking for little like half moon shapes that are like that. The thing is with tracking is you've got to get out there and you've got to track. That's the thing with it. You've got to go and practice that type of skill. Then you can get on to tracking your friends, which is quite fun out in the woods. You know, let them go on and go and find them. Normally they're if you've got the right eye, most people, believe it or not, leave a huge trail down through the woods. I can spot it a mile away if somebody's been through. You can just see it. It just stands out to me. And so yeah, it's just out here, guys, having fun. I'm rambling on. You're probably not learning anything. But for me, it's just to recharge me batteries. And I'll get Reptile asked me about what I do when what do I do when I'm out here, and I just sit down and chill out, really, and enjoy myself. Sometimes I bring a book. I haven't today. I'll think about funny things, which is funny. Why do women shave off all their eyebrows and then pencil them back on again? To me that's just funny business, but to them, that's that's probably funny business to them as well. Painful, I'd have thought, but yeah, that ain't good. But anyway, let's just sit back and enjoy everything we've got. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's getting nippy.